both alike in dignity. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene. Oh, hold on a moment there. We are not in Verona. It's Battle Creek. And this is not Romeo and Juliet. But there are two households. Oh, yes. On my right, here live the Swansons, Cora and Theodore, known as Thor among the family. Also living here is Aranetta Gibbs, known as Ari. And on the left, here are the Bolsons, Carl and Ida, with their son Homer. Oh, later you will meet David and Esty. And the heavenly Myrtle Brown. Cora, Esty, Ida, and Ari are all sisters. And the time is summer, 1939.
Then he listened to my heart with one of those ear things. Listened quite a while. Didn't say a word. Scared me to death. Still didn't say a word. Thumped me on the chest, the sides all over. Took my blood pressure, wound a little sack around my arm, pumped a little machine, watched a needle. Oh, he did everything you could have. Examination lasted over an hour. Then you know what he said?
What?
He says, Mr. Swanson, there's not a thing in the world the matter with you. You've got a good heart, sound lungs, fine stomach. I don't know when I've seen a man of your age as well off as you are. Now, what do you know about that? He's just a lousy doctor, that's all.
Did you tell him about your
Well, of course I did. Said it wasn't anything to worry about. By God, I don't know how a doctor like that gets the reputation he has. Didn't even say I had to give up smoking.
Well, that's silly. Everybody knows you ought to give up smoking.
Of course they do. I smoke much too much. Look at that. It stands to reason when a man gets along in his late 60s, he's got to cut down on things like that. Well, I'll see old Doc Brooks tomorrow. He may be old, but I bet he knows enough to tell me to quit smoking.
You didn't say anything to the doctor about my side, did you?
My God, Cora, I didn't. I forgot all about it.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I was so damn mad. I'll speak to Doc Brooks about it tomorrow. Does it hurt you?
Just when I lean over.
You want me to rub it for you?
Oh, it'll be all right.
Well, you want to watch those things. Can't be too careful.
Well, thanks for asking to rub it, though.
What's that? What did you say?
Nothing.
Cora did. I heard her. She was whispering.
Well, she told me she didn't want me to rub her back for her.
Well, I don't see what there is to whisper about when your own sister talks behind your back.
You see anything yet, Harry? Aranetta!
What?
You seen anything yet?
The Davises just drove by.
Which way they going?
Toward town.
Going to have supper down there and going to a movie. No sign of Homer and Myrtle?
Not yet. Dear, I wonder why they don't come. Wouldn't it be awful if he didn't bring her after all?
Maybe her train's late.
I'll bet Ida's excited. I wonder if I shouldn't go over there and see if there's anything I can do.
No, you stay away from there. I just got that Allen girl in to help her. If she wants us for anything, she'll call us.
Do you think we'll meet her? Myrtle, I mean?
Meet her? I guess Homer won't be bringing any girl of his home without introducing her to his old aunts and uncle.
Well, there's something awfully funny about it if you ask me. How long has Homer been engaged to Myrtle?
It must be
now,
nearly
Cora?
7 years. Of course they were going together for 4 or 5 years before that.
Well, don't you think that's funny? Homer going with a girl for 12 years and none of us has ever seen her? Not even his mother?
Well, Homer's shy. He can't be rushed into anything. Anyway, he's bringing her home now.
Well, that's just because of that movie I saw the other day about the old bachelor. She said she felt so sorry for that old bachelor, she came right home and gave Homer a terrible talking to. Said if he didn't bring Myrtle home, she'd make him eat his dinners downtown for a whole month.
Oh, she didn't either, Ari?
She told me she did. She said she wasn't going to have any son of hers end up the way that old bachelor in the movie did.
Why? How'd he end up?
He shot himself. Anyway, Ida's right about that old bachelor business. Homer's 40 years old, his last birthday, remember? If he's going to marry Myrtle, he better get doing it pretty soon.
Well, I don't think Ida ought to rush him. You got to let a man work out those things for himself.
Homer likes his home. He likes it here with his mother.
Well, I just wonder what Myrtle thinks. I see myself waiting 12 years for a man.
You've been waiting 65 years for one.
Don't you worry, Theodore Swanson. I could have had plenty of men if I'd wanted them.
Sure you could, Harry.
And there's plenty I could have right now, too. Don't fool yourself
Sure
about
there
that.
are.
Don't think I don't see the way men look at me on the street. I know what they're thinking. I could have a home of my own in 2 minutes if I wanted one.
Don't doubt it for a second, Harry.
I was the prettiest of all us four sisters, wasn't I, Cora?
No, you weren't as pretty as Esty.
Well, I was prettier than you or Ida. And look at what Esty got. You think I'd be married to a man like David?
Of course you wouldn't, Harry.
Trouble with me is, I never saw a man who was worth the powder to blow him up. Pretty poor specimens on the whole.
You know what I hate most about this Myrtle-Homer situation?
What?
That nice house up there on Sycamore Drive that his father built for them.
You certainly do like that house, don't you, Clark?
5 years that house has been standing there empty, all nicely furnished. I said to Carl just the other day, why don't you rent that house until Homer's ready for it, Carl?
You did. What'd he say?
He says, no, Thor, no. That's Homer's house. I want it to be all new and ready for him anytime he wants to move in. By God, if I was a young fellow, I'd get married just to live in that nice house.
Thor, you know what I've been wondering about Homer and Myrtle?
What?
I wonder if there isn't something going on there.
Oh, Harry.
Oh, you could be as innocent as you like, but I know what men are. Something could be going on there every night for all we know.
No. Couldn't be going on every night. She lives in North Lyons. They don't see each other every night.
Well, I think it's a terrible thought to have about your own nephew.
Well, it certainly could be true, couldn't it, Thor?
Well, it's hard to say. If it was anybody but Homer, I'd be inclined to say it could be. But Homer, I don't know.
Well, I know it isn't. Homer has never spent a night away from his home in his whole life, as far as I know. He's always here in the mornings.
Well, my goodness, he certainly wouldn't have to spend the whole night, would he?
Cora, Cora,
Well, what's the matter, Ida?
here a minute.
Yep. When those two get together, they're like a couple of old hens.
What's the matter with her?
How do I know? Does anybody ever tell me anything?
Gee, Ida does seem excited.
It's Cora all the time. They just like to keep me out of things. She's probably burned her roast, and I hope she has. And another thing, Theodore Swanson, the next time Cora starts any more of this business about me getting a man and having a home of my own like she did this morning.
Oh, Harry, Cora didn't mean anything.
Well, I don't know. Cora's made a couple of awful funny remarks lately about me living by myself. She's got some bee in her bonnet. She's up to something.
Oh, she isn't either.
Well, she hadn't better be. That's all I
Now,
can
your
say.
home's right here with us, Harry, just as long as you want it.
Well, don't you forget it either. I guess I'm entitled to some consideration
All
around
right,
here.
all right. Now keep still. Here comes Cora.
Ida enters the house.
Well, did you have your little conference?
Oh my goodness, it's Carl. Ida says he's acting funny.
He's not going to have a spell, is he?
That's what she's afraid of. He's got his forehead leaned up against the kitchen wall, and he won't move. Everybody's having to walk around him.
Oh, that's it, all right. No doubt about it.
That poor Allen girl doesn't know what's the matter. She's scared stiff. And Ida's nearly frantic with Homer and Myrtle coming.
And that's just what brought it on. Myrtle. Don't you see? He can't face her. That's the way it always used to be. Any new person he wanted to make an impression on? Oh, I'll bet he's going to have a terrible spell. I better go over and see what I can do.
You do no such thing.
Oh, my goodness.
You stay right where you are.
Thor.
Huh? What?
They're here! They're here! Oh my goodness, he really brought her. Look!
Now be careful, Harry. Go up closer to the house.
Look! Look, they're getting out! That's her! That's Myrtle! Oh Lord, he's helping her out of the car!
Yes, sir. By God, he certainly
job of it. My goodness, look how he's got a hold of her arm. You can't tell me there isn't something going on there.
We better go in. We can see better from the dining room anyway.
Look, look.
Oh, dentist.
Stop pushing, Thor. There they go. Stop it, Thor.
Good afternoon, Carl.
Oh, good afternoon, Thor.
Oh, good afternoon, Carl.
Good afternoon, Cora.
Well, I see you got company.
Yes, Homer brought Myrtle for over Sunday.
Oh, is that it? Isn't that nice?
Well, begins to look as if you're going to have that house occupied pretty soon, Carl, up there on Sycamore Drive.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Well, I'll be glad to see it happen. I always say all you have to do is let young people alone, and pretty soon things will take care of themselves. Guess that's about the size of it.
What's that?
I say I guess that's about the size of it.
Oh,
By God, he's having a spell, all right.
Poor Ida. I better telephone her. He's out of the kitchen.
I think
Goes in.
I think we ought to phone Esty about it all, too. It's only fair. Goodness knows she doesn't have much in her life anymore. Come on, Thor.
All right. I kind of hate to leave Carl. There's Cora talking to her now.
Carl?
And Aaron.
Carl, what's the matter? You're not really going to have a spell, are you? Answer me, Carl. Now you've got to stop this right away before it gets hold of you. You've got to shake it off and come right into the house with me and see Myrtle and Homer. They want to see you. Come on in.
they don't want to see me.
Yes, they do, Carl. They do. Myrtle asked for you especially. She wants to meet you.
Why should she want to meet me?
Oh, stop talking that way, Carl.
Why should anybody want to meet a failure like me?
Carl, you're just giving in to it. Now stop it. Myrtle is here. You've got to help entertain her. You know how hard it is for Homer to talk in front of strangers. You're the host, Carl. You just can't have a spell now.
I never asked much out of life. Never made many demands. All I wanted to be was just a dentist.
Oh my goodness. Never mind about that now, Carl.
That's not so much to ask, just to be a dentist. Charlie Watson went on and became a dentist, but I wasn't up to
Oh,
it.
of course you were, Carl. It just
I
didn't
have
work out for you that
Thought
way.
the ideal, but I never achieved
You're just
it.
as good as anybody, Carl.
I failed.
Oh my, they're coming out. Carl.
This is the backyard.
The backyard. Oh, isn't it lovely?
Oh, that's the garage.
Oh, yes, isn't it nice?
That one's my father's and mine, and that one's Uncle Thor's. My father built them both.
He must be terribly clever.
He's a good builder. Oh, that's the hedge.
Oh, yes.
That's where Aunt Cora thinks she heard a man hiding a couple of times.
Oh, yes, I remember.
She says she heard him cough once, just about dark.
Well, does she think someone's watching the house?
I guess so. Guess she just imagined it, though.
Oh.
Uncle Thor says it's probably just one of Aunt Aria's men hanging around to check up on her.
Oh, maybe that's it.
No, that's a joke.
I see.
Ida re-enters.
Oh, there you are. Oh, did you find Mr. Bolton?
Oh, I guess he must have gone for a little walk.
Oh, dear. I do so want to meet him.
Oh, he'll be back in time for supper. He often takes a little walk about this time.
I love your backyard, Mrs. Bolton. It looks so cool. It's simply heavenly.
Yes, we like it very much.
All the trees and everything. I bet you sit out here all the time.
We sit out here a good deal of the time.
Well, I should think you would. It's simply heavenly. I don't know when I've seen a more attractive backyard.
Oh, I'm very fond of it.
Well, I should think so. It's so nice and wild, like being in a forest.
I'm glad you like it.
Well, I certainly do. It's simply heavenly.
Well, It's nice of you to say so.
Well, I mean it.
Have mosquitoes sometimes.
Well, yes, there are mosquitoes sometimes.
How dreadful.
But I don't think we have quite so many this year as usual. Have you noticed that, Homer?
Not so many, that's right.
Isn't it interesting the way those things go? I mean, one year you'll have a lot of mosquitoes, and then the next year, not so many mosquitoes. Or a lot of caterpillars one year, and then the next year, not so many caterpillars. I wonder why that is.
I don't know why that is. Do you, Homer?
No, I don't know why it is.
It's very interesting, isn't it? Anyway, I suppose the mosquitoes and the caterpillars and all those things have some meaning, some purpose. Why, they wouldn't have been put here if they hadn't.
No, I don't suppose they would have.
Don't suppose so.
It's all part of some big plan, some big plan of some kind.
Want to sit down?
Oh, yes. I'll take this cozy place right here. Oh, won't you sit down too, Mrs. Bolton?
No, I should be about supper.
Oh, do stay for just a minute.
Well, just for a minute then. And now I must go in. I'll leave you two youngsters out here by yourself. I guess you can attend to yourselves all right.
Well, maybe we can.
You probably have a lot to talk over.
We haven't got anything to talk
Of
over.
course you have. I know. I'll come out again as soon as I can. If you should see your father, tell him I want to see him, Homer.
All right, Mother.
Ida goes.
Oh, I think your mother's too wonderful.
She's pretty nice, all right.
She's so friendly. Just what a mother should be.
She's pretty nice.
Oh, she's more than that. She's so human. And that's where your Uncle Thor and Aunt Cora live?
Aunt Airy.
Oh, yes. She's the maiden aunt, isn't she?
She's the old maid.
How long has she been living with them?
About 45 to 50 years.
My goodness. That must be pretty hard on your Aunt Cora.
Why? They're sisters.
Yes, but wouldn't you think a woman would want to live alone? I mean, alone with her husband?
Aunt Airy didn't have any other place to go when her mother died, so Aunt Cora took her in.
Aunt Cora must be pretty nice, I think, to share her home that way.
Aunt Cora's nice, not as nice as Mother.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. My goodness. Well, anyway, it must be awfully pleasant for all of them to live together now that they're getting older. They must be a lot of company for each other.
Then there's Aunt Esther, too.
Oh, yes, Aunt Esther.
She lives up the street about a block and a half.
And she's married to...
Uncle David.
Yes, he's the one that studies all the time.
He's a very highly educated man. He doesn't like us.
Why not?
He thinks we're morons.
Morons? Why does he think that?
Well, I don't know. He says we don't think about important enough things.
Does he think about important things?
Practically all of the time.
Ah, what does he do?
Well, doesn't do anything now. He used to be a college professor, but he couldn't get along with the president.
Oh.
He said the president was a moron, too.
Well, he doesn't think you're a moron, too, Homer.
Oh, he thinks we all are, except my father.
What? What's the matter with your father?
He says my father has something more than the rest of us, something that makes him question life sometimes.
Oh, I see.
But the rest of us are all morons. That's why he never comes down here and never lets any of us come up there.
He sounds awfully odd to me.
He doesn't let Aunt Esther come down either. He's afraid we'll pull her down to our level.
So she never comes down.
Just when he doesn't know it. She hasn't been down now for over a week, though.
I'm afraid I wouldn't like your Uncle David very much.
Oh, I think he would. He's awfully nice. I've always sort of liked Uncle David.
Homer, do you think your mother liked me?
She didn't say anything. I guess so.
Dear, I hope she did. I tried so hard to make a good impression. I liked her so much.
She's pretty nice, all right.
It was terribly sweet of her to ask me to come. Of course, I couldn't help but wonder, why it happened that this time you decided to bring me. Because she has asked you to before, hasn't she?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I wondered if anything happened to change your mind about bringing me.
My mother saw a movie.
Movie?
Uh-huh.
Oh. I guess she wouldn't think very much of me if she knew about us, would she?
Well, there's no reason for her to know.
She'd think I wasn't very nice.
Older people don't understand things like that very well, Myrtle. Maybe we'd better not talk about it here.
Oh, all right. But of course, your mother must think it's rather funny about you and me, though, being engaged for so long. Has she ever asked you anything about it? I mean, about when we're going to get married, I mean?
Uh-huh.
What'd you say to her?
I told her you had a job.
Oh, well, I was thinking about my job the other day, and I was wondering whether I oughtn't to give it up.
I thought you liked it.
Oh, I do. It's a good job, but, well, I get awfully sick of it sometimes. And after all, I am 39 years old, you know.
My father set up most of those trees himself. Transplanted some of them. That one there, I remember when it was just a twig he brought over from a house he was building on Maple Street. It must have been 15 years ago.
You wouldn't think it would get that big in 15 years.
They grow awfully fast.
There isn't anything the matter, is there, Homer?
Uh-uh.
Well, you're not mad at me about anything, are you?
No.
Well, you act so funny here. Well, are you sorry you brought me after all?
No, I guess not.
Oh, you silly.
You know, they'll see us from the other house, Myrtle.
Oh. You know, I get awfully lonesome sometimes, about this time of day, or maybe a little later. I guess it's really not so bad at the office. I always manage to keep really busy. When I get through and I have to go to my room, and then when it starts to get dark, well, often when I know that you're not going to be coming down, I don't even bother to fix myself any supper. I just go right to bed. Sometimes I wonder how I happened to get stuck with that job. It doesn't seem natural. I guess when you come right down to it, what a woman really wants is a home of her own.
Harry wanders in.
That's Aunt Airy. She knows we're here.
Oh,
Oh, hello, Homer.
Oh, hello, Aunt Airy.
When did you get home?
A little while ago.
Well, how do you do?
how do you do?
It has been a pleasant day, hasn't it?
Hasn't it?
This is Myrtle Brown.
Oh, how do you do, Myrtle?
How do you do?
I'm Homer's aunt.
Well, I guess I know that. You're Aunt Airy. You're the one who sent me that handsome linen luncheon set for my hope chest.
Oh my goodness, that wasn't anything.
Oh, well, I guess it was something. That's about the most handsome linen luncheon set I've ever seen.
Did you really like it?
I certainly did. Well, you'd be surprised how many times I take it out and just look at it. And sometimes those flowers seem to me to be absolutely real.
They're applique, you know.
Oh, I know they are. You must have used your eyes altogether too much doing that.
Oh my goodness, I don't have very much to do. I'm working on a quilt. It's applique too. Perhaps you'd like to see it while you're here.
I'd simply love to.
Myrtle knits.
Oh, haven't seen your father yet, have you, Homer?
No.
Dear, I hope he's going to be all right.
Cora sticks her head out of the door.
Airy!
Oh, all right, Cora. I guess I have to help with supper. I just came out for a breath of air.
Where is Father?
I don't know, Homer. He and Ida were out there in the yard when you came out. I just happened to notice them from the house. He must have gone off through the hedge.
Homer goes to the house.
Well, Homer, what?
Mother,
Oh, Mr. Bolton isn't ill, is he?
Well, no, he isn't exactly ill, but you see, sometimes he has these awful...
Harry,
Oh my goodness.
it's time to set the table.
Well, I'm very glad to have met you, Myrtle. Perhaps we'll see you after supper.
I hope so.
I wasn't going to tell her a thing.
How do you do, Myrtle?
How do you do?
I expect we'll meet each other after supper.
I expect so.
Well, excuse me, I've got to go in now.
All right.
Ida and Homer return.
Is there anything wrong with Mr. Bolton?
Oh, no. He just had a little headache is all. He'll walk it off and be all right when he gets back.
Oh,
And I guess I can sit down a little while now. Supper's nearly ready.
is it? Oh, I had no idea it was getting so late. I think I better go in and wash up then.
Oh, all right. Just ask the Allen girl in there and she'll show you where to go. The little towel with the escalloped border is for you.
Oh, all right. Thank you. I won't be long.
Now, Homer,
I don't care, Mother. If he started talking about going back to the fork
but
again,
I tell you he didn't. He didn't say anything about the fork at all.
are you sure?
He hadn't got to that.
Well, it hadn't better. If he starts talking about going back to the fork
Well,
again,
he didn't. I felt kind of sorry for him this time. It was one of those dentist spells. Now stop acting up and sit down. I want to tell you how much I like Myrtle. I think she's just as nice as she can be.
well, I wish you wouldn't leave me alone with her all the time.
Now,
I don't care. It's embarrassing. I don't know what to say to her.
well, aren't you the limit? What do you say to her when you go down to visit her in North Lyon?
Oh, that's different.
Oh, you are a goose, aren't you?
Well, I just wish you wouldn't leave us alone. She keeps hinting things when you're not with us.
What things?
Oh, she wants to know why I brought her home.
Well, I would think she'd know that. When a man brings a girl home to meet his mother.
Now, Mother, you know, I haven't made up my mind yet about anything.
Oh, Homer.
Haven't made up my mind.
Well, when are you going to?
Well, I like it living here at home.
But that's no excuse. And it isn't as though you'd be going off someplace long. After all, Sycamore Drive is only half a mile away. You can come down here every night if you want to at first.
It wouldn't be the same.
Well, you'd be surprised how quickly you'll feel at home in that new house, Homer.
But I've got all my things here and everything.
Well, I just wish you'd seen that movie I saw, Homer. That movie actor even looked a little like you.
Oh, who was it?
Oh, nobody important. But he certainly gave you a very clear picture of just how lonely an old bachelor can be.
You'd be awfully lonesome.
Oh, I don't say it's going to be easy for me either.
Of course it isn't.
It'll seem strange not to have you coming home after your day's work. But I've had you a long time, longer than most mothers.
I don't know what you do with my little room up there.
I've thought of that too. I think I'll keep it just as it is, and you'll know that it'll be ready for you anytime you want it. Perhaps you'll want to spend a night down here sometime, you and Myrtle.
My room's too small for two people.
Oh, we might move in a double bed.
Oh, Mother. And Myrtle gets so personal sometimes.
What do you mean?
Oh, she wants to know all sorts of things. The other day, she asked me what size underwear I wore.
She did? What for?
Well, I guess she wanted to buy me some.
Well, that does seem odd.
She wrote it down in a little book she's got.
Of course, after you're married, she'll be buying your underwear.
There's something awfully nice about Myrtle, though.
Well, of course there is.
She's awfully good-hearted, and she does nice little things for you all of the time.
Does she?
She's awfully lonesome down there in North Lyons, too. It isn't that I'm not awfully fond of her, Mother.
Do you love her, Homer?
Well, I wouldn't want never to see her again. Mother,
Yes, Homer?
If I was to marry Myrtle, do you think I'd get used to it?
I guess so.
I don't know, Mother.